This season of Gold Rush shows the crews are changing in interesting ways. While fans point out that Fred Lewis can't seem to do anything right and Rick Ness is out of action, Parker Schnabel has become more successful. That has some fans worried. Here is what fans are saying about Parker's continued success and the dangers it presents to Gold Rush. This season, Gold Rush fans can't stop talking about Fred Lewis and his struggles to get anything done at his sites. There is also the fact that Rick Ness chose not to return. Plus, the Clayton brothers seem more intent on doing odd jobs than working their own adventures. Then, there is Parker Schnabel, who has been the most successful miner outside of Tony Beats. His success, however, has some fans worried he might be too successful to feature on Gold Rush anymore. One fan on Reddit mentioned that Gold Rush existed to show small groups starting out and trying to find gold. While Fred is a good example of this, it was more about people like Rick Ness succeeding despite the odds stacked against him. Parker once fit that mold as well. The fan said that while Fred is an attempt to recreate Rick's story, he is more comic relief. Other fans agreed, with one responding, Parker is on the verge of becoming a corporate mining firm that will no longer be interesting to watch in the original Gold Rush format. The Redditor said that if he spends a lot of time working with equipment on Gold Rush, it is not a good use of his time. Another commented that Parker is the most successful person on the show right now. However, that makes it boring to watch him each week. However, at least one Redditor felt it might be time to change the show when Parker is on TV. Personally, I love what he's doing and would appreciate production diving deeper into the business/strategy/finance side of things, they wrote. However, they also admitted that isn't what Gold Rush is all about. For the small crews that struggled to make it at the start, many Gold Rush fans are wondering what will happen with Rick Ness. He showed up earlier in the season when his crew went to his home. He said he was suffering from depression and had sought help. However, he wasn't ready to come back. In the same Gold Rush Reddit thread, someone mentioned that Rick wasn't coming back this season to work. When he appeared on the show, it was to explain his absence. According to the Redditor, a member of the production crew frequents the Reddit pages. They said Rick doesn't appear in any storylines for the rest of this season. Are you enjoying this season of Gold Rush? Have you noticed differences in how the show presents the stories? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Sean Esalilos has been a freelance writer for over 25 years and is a voting member of the Oklahoma Film Critics Circle. He is also a published author with a book about the Stephen King Dollar Baby filmmakers. Gold Rush fans worry Parker might be working his way out of the game. The excitement and drama surrounding the Discovery Channel's Gold Rush are palpable every season. As viewers watch the highs and lows of miners trying to strike it rich in the unforgiving landscapes of Alaska and the Yukon, one name has consistently stood out: Parker Schnabel. A fan favorite, Parker's journey has been one of remarkable success and rapid growth, making him a star in the gold mining world. However, recent developments on the show have left many fans worried. Parker, once seen as a prodigy in the industry, now appears to be distancing himself from his roots and, in the process, risking his future on the show and perhaps even in the business of gold mining itself. The rise of Parker Schnabel. When Parker first appeared on Gold Rush, he was only 16, taking over his grandfather's mining operation after John Schnabel's health began to decline. A lot of people doubted his ability to succeed. After all, mining is a notoriously tough business, particularly in the rugged and unpredictable terrain of Alaska. But Parker proved them all wrong. He quickly made a name for himself, earning the respect of both seasoned miners and viewers alike. His determination, leadership, and sharp business acumen saw him move from running a small operation to commanding some of the largest and most successful crews on the show. By the age of 24, Parker was already the face of one of the most profitable mining operations in the Yukon, successfully mining vast amounts of gold year after year. His ability to extract gold where others had failed became his trademark, and his fortune seemed assured. The change in direction. From hands-on miner to businessman, however, as Gold Rush progressed, so did Parker. The once ambitious young miner, who spent his days knee-deep in dirt, adjusting sluice boxes and running heavy machinery, has started to evolve into a businessman, focused more on managing operations and making strategic decisions from behind the scenes than getting his hands. This is not an entirely negative shift. As Parker grows older and more experienced, it is natural that his role would evolve. With the vast amounts of gold his team has managed to extract over the years, Parker's operation has grown in scale, requiring him to take on more managerial responsibilities. The problem, however, is that fans are starting to wonder if he's becoming too detached from the very aspect of gold mining that made him famous, his hands-on approach. Throughout seasons past, audiences tuned in to watch Parker not only run his operations, but also physically participate in the labor. Whether he was overseeing the operation of his wash plants or driving excavators, Parker's visible dedication to the mining process made him relatable to viewers, and it became a part of his appeal. But now, many fans have noticed that Parker is stepping further and further away from the physical demands of mining, opting instead to delegate more responsibilities to his team. While delegation is a necessary skill for any successful business person, some viewers worry that Parker's reduced involvement could lead to a disconnect between him and the gritty world of gold mining that made him a star in the first place. The role of family and mentorship. A double-edged sword. Parker's growth as a businessman has also been shaped by the people around him, especially his trusted mentor, Tony Beets, and his own family. Over the years, Parker has learned valuable lessons from the veteran miners he works with, but there's been a noticeable shift in how he interacts with these mentors. Initially, Parker's relationship with Tony Beets was one of mutual respect, with Parker often seeking Tony's advice and learning from his long experience. Yet as Parker's own operations grew, it became clear that he wasn't the wide-eyed young miner anymore. He was becoming more independent, and sometimes even at odds with Tony's old-school methods. This has been especially evident in the more recent seasons, where Parker has started making decisions that conflict with the advice and wisdom of his mentors. The tension between Parker and Tony Beets has been a focal point of some episodes, with both parties demonstrating differing philosophies on how to run a mining operation. While Tony tends to stick to tried and true methods, Parker has shown a willingness to innovate and take calculated risks, sometimes with great success, sometimes with disastrous results. On the one hand, Parker's increasing confidence and ability to go toe-to-toe with veterans like Tony Beets can be seen as a sign of his growth. On the other hand, some fans fear that Parker's increased autonomy and occasional disagreements with his mentors could lead him down a path of isolation, where he becomes too proud or stubborn to learn from the experience of others. There is a risk that Parker's growth could come at the expense of the collaborative spirit that initially made his operation so successful. The financial stakes. A dangerous gamble. As Parker continues to expand his empire, the financial stakes grow higher. Every season, the pressure to meet gold production targets becomes more intense. His operation is worth millions of dollars, and the cost of maintaining and upgrading the heavy equipment, paying his crew, and covering operating expenses is staggering. Parker's ability to balance the books and ensure profitability is critical for the future of his business and his success on the show. However, fans have begun to wonder if Parker might be pushing himself too far. His tendency to take on larger, riskier ventures such as buying new claims and expanding his crew, has raised concerns among viewers who fear he might be overextending himself. The show's depiction of Parker struggling with financial challenges, including massive debt, has only added to the anxiety surrounding his operation. If Parker fails to meet his gold production targets, the consequences could be catastrophic, not only for his mining career, but for the future of the show. What's next for Parker? With all these changes in mind, the question on many fans' lips is, what's next for Parker Schnabel? Is he on the brink of making a mistake that could lead to his undoing? Or is he simply evolving in a way that will ultimately ensure his continued success? For many viewers, the worry is that Parker might be working his way out of the game. As his operations grow more sophisticated and his role becomes more about business management than mining, some are concerned that he could lose touch with the core elements of what made him successful in the first place. Will he still be able to innovate and make the tough, hands-on decisions that earned him the title of one of the best in the business? Or will he become another out-of-touch businessman who overlooks the small details that ultimately make or break a mining operation? On the other hand, there are those who believe that Parker's transition to a more managerial role is